feel very privileged to be in this very special kitchen this afternoon. And even more so because I'm going to learn to really cook something wonderful for fall.
Thank you.
But as a special treat, Jerry has two helpers with him this afternoon. They're going to hand him his ingredients. Do you know olive oil from truffle oil?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. All right, Jerry, the show is yours.
Okay.
Let us know what you're doing.
Okay, we're going to start off. Oh, this is
Yes,
my
sir.
two assistants. We have Vincent and Anthony. Okay, they're my two
Now
boys.
that's authentic Italian.
Oh yes,
thanks.
they are. Okay, guys, get in your position over there now. Okay, all right, right there. All right, it's stay right there.
What I have to say to you is there are no Teflon lined pans.
No,
is that
no.
a no-no?
You know, Teflon is good for one thing, for breakfast, making omelets or crepes or something like that. But as far as like in a real Italian kitchen, the Teflon doesn't last because of the intense heat. Okay, all right, I'm going to start off. Anytime you saute anything, fish, chicken, shrimp, pork, anything, you got to have a nice hot saute pan. It's very important.
That's been on for about 10 minutes, so
Right,
it's really hot.
I'm preheating the pan itself, okay, first. While that's being done there, I'm going to drop my raviolis in some boiling water, just poached with salt inside, okay? Now these are the pumpkin raviolis, okay? We're just going to put those in the boiling water. We're just going to make sure that they're not overboiling or overcooking, because you never want to cook overcooked pasta, okay? So as that's going here, we're going to add our olive oil into our hot saute pan, okay? And we don't want it smoking, but we do want it hot enough to, you know, sear the food, okay? All right, so what we're going to do now, I have flour over here, guys, in a little pan.
The flour's over there.
Okay, it's right here,
My
okay.
turn.
That's all right, that was Marilyn's job, see? Okay, so we're going to lightly dredge the chicken breast that's been cut and trimmed in the flour, lightly dredged, okay? You know, you don't want a lot of excess flour because the excess flour will actually cause a burn in your pan, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly drop this dredged chicken in the oil. Now see how that's, it's like a little action in there. Well, that's what you want to see. You always want to see the oil moving. You don't want to see dead oil because you're going to be absorbing the oil into the chicken, which you don't want to do. You want it to just coat the chicken and rise the chicken up, okay? Now this is the start of flavors too, because you want to gain flavors by doing this, okay? So, okay, let me get this out of the way. Put that over there for now. Okay, now, basically, let it seal. It has to get its crust. That's where you start your flavors, okay? Okay. Now,
Would somebody maybe deep fry that rather than pan frying it as a start?
some places, what they do to cheat is they'll use a fryer later and they'll deep fry their chicken to get a fast browning on it. But the old school way, this is how it's done. This is the only way I would ever do it. Here, you know, it's the only way to do it. And you know, you don't want to cook it thoroughly all the way, because any sauté dish, as I say, you're gaining the layers of flavors while you're cooking. So that's all you're doing now is you're getting color on this chicken.
Okay.
And of course, now we're going to be adding shrimp into this dish too, but you don't add the shrimp until the end, because shrimp only takes like 1 or 2 minutes. As soon as it's pink, it's done. Chicken is a little longer, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give this a check. Okay, now you see a nice brown color, not too dark, okay? You know, when you try to turn the piece that you first put in the pan so they're pretty even, okay? All right, now, as that's sauteing, okay, when this is almost done on this side now, that's when you're going to add your shrimp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to infuse the oil with a little bit of fresh sage in there too, okay, which is going to let the oil out.
Is that an unusual combination, shrimp, fish and meat together?
Well, you know, we do a lot of combination dishes here. Like one of our popular dishes is a Sicilia-style dish, which is I do with shrimp and sausage. Shrimp and sausage sauteed, and you render the prosciutto down in the pan with pancetta, fresh spinach, and mushrooms. Always add your mushrooms last too, because they have a lot of water too. You know, you don't want to render the mushroom. You know, you don't want to render every bit of water out of the mushroom. Okay. So, all right. So as that's sauteing there, I'm just lightly watching that, and I'm always keeping an eye on my pasta too at the same time. Okay. All right. Now these are almost at the point now where I can add my shrimp in. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my shrimp into the pan now, off to the side. Okay. You can spread them around. Okay, and you just want to put some color onto those. Now, a little trick I use in the kitchen is, if you want to speed things up a little, put a lid right over that so you can actually steam the shrimp a little, cook the shrimp a little faster. The faster you cook shrimp, the more tender they're going to be, but they have to be cooked all the way through.
Do you have to cook the ravioli?
Yeah, these are being lightly poached now. Actually, I'm going to turn the heat down on this a little bit now, too. No, those you don't have to. Those can just stay just as they are. All right, now you see already the shrimp is starting to turn a little pink, okay? So I want to give those a flip, okay? Right now. I don't want these to get too cooked, okay? Because then they're going to get... Okay, all right, now, just another minute on that. And then what I do is I forgot one thing over here. I just have to get a little strainer, and I'll be right back. I'm going to walk right by you guys just for a minute. I'm going to get a little strainer, okay? This is another little trick that we use here too. Never leave all your oil inside the saute pan after. This is good for sauteing. Now, you know, at nighttime we usually have this off to the side of the range. All right, now we're at this point right here, okay? Everything is pretty well cooked. You're going to strain all that excess oil out of your pan, okay? Add your shrimp back into the pan. Now, you've taken a lot of that extra oil out of the pan, okay? Now, we're going to be adding a very highly flammable brandy, so you never want to do it on the stove. You always want to pull your pan off to the side, okay? For that reason, okay? Very highly flammable. And then, what we're going to do, after that dies down now, we're going to put a little white wine into this too, okay? All right, so we're going to use a little white wine in here too, okay? I'm just going to drain that out. Some white wine, just to give it a little of a deglaze. Now what this is doing is, it's picking up all the flavors off of that pan, and it's going to infuse the pan with some flavor. Now this is when I'm going to put my fresh sage in there, okay? Not a lot, because sage is a very strong herb. Okay, so you don't want a lot. Yeah, I always, yeah. There's no comparison at all with the fresh. No comparison, you know, with the dry. Then I'm going to add my fresh spinach into that now. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, at this point, now you see that the wine and the brandy has sort of reduced down. This is when you're going to add your cream into here, okay? You don't want to overdo it either, just a little bit. Now that's going to reduce down, okay? Now you can put that lid right back on that, okay? And let that cook down. While that's cooking down, though, the next thing you have to remember is this is when you'd season this at the end for your taste, your final taste. Now what I did, because it would have taken too long to do it all, is I steamed down some fresh butternut squash with just basic salt and pepper, and I'm going to put it into a piping bag, pastry bag, and I'm going to use that over the top after. And I've also toasted off some pignoli nuts, which Vincent has them over by him. Okay, Mr. Assistant? All right. Okay, these are the pine nuts. Okay, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a rubber spatula with a star tip tube in here. And, okay, Anthony, here, bring this over here. Okay, I'm going to put this inside the pastry bag, okay? So we're going to do it like this. Okay, I don't need it all, so we'll just put that there for now. We're just going to make sure there's no air inside the pastry bag, okay? So it's going to come out nice and even. Okay, that's going to sit right here for now. Okay, now we're going to season up this stuff here. Okay. Just a little salt.
No salt shaker.
And a little pepper. Oh no, it's all by eye. All by eye.